one thing I liked about it, I'm sorry, this is toxic of me, but in between, like after the rapper
Oh,
has
that's the
rapped
thing I
and they're
hated.
giving
That's the thing
this.
I hated the most
No,
about
I
the show.
loved it.
Oh, I
I
hate it so
loved
much.
it so much. Sam. No, I love it. I love them singanyang the artist like in between. I love it.
Oh, I hate it so much. And then they tell them after to take it to YouTube. It's like, no, bro.
No, Sam.
No, that comes out so bad.
Sam, whoever was in the production room and they said, I need you guys to talk about the artists like after they're gone. They need a raise. I love it. I love it.
Welcome.
Yo, what's up and welcome to episode 93 of the 30% podcast hosted by your very unwell Afam. Well, I have a cold and co-hosted by Sam Are.
Ew, what's up?
Let's go.
Shout out to me.
And also shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. Anyway,
you need context. You need context first.
Yeah. Listen, shout out to you guys for listening to this podcast. For 93 episodes.
Yep.
Sam,
It's
how
craziness,
are you?
man. Oh, whew, I'm good now. Oh man, no, it's been.
I don't know why you're in such a
it's-
laughy mood.
You know why? It's been an interesting evening to say the least. No, I'm good. Chilling. I am. The weather has been good to us recently, and
Yeah.
then it started getting cold a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'm cool, man. Week has been all right. Oh man, I have a story. So you know,
Okay.
I'm usually very calm and relaxed, right?
Yes.
I don't fight nobody. I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah. This week they tried to test me. Afam. This
Wait,
week
were you throwing hands with people?
No, I will never get to the point where I throw hands. But I just want to let you know that if I was not sanctified, some hands might man. Let me tell you what happened. So this story actually goes back to 2 years ago. Remember when we were working at the place we were working at, and my laptop crashed and I lost all my data, right?
Yeah.
A certain computer shop was recommended to me, so I took my laptop there.
Okay.
There. It was cool. The hard drive was a little bit faulty. It was still working,
Okay.
still reading, but it was faulty. There's different ways you can go about, recovering your data and everything like that. So I took it to them. Oh, then there was other things wrong with the laptop. I think the motherboard was messed up. The keys were missing. It's an old laptop. It's my first studio laptop that I got back in 2014. So it's
Yeah.
an old man. It's heavy. It's big. I took it to them to fix. These guys took out my hard drive and lost it.
They lost your hard drive.
Yes, this is 2 years ago. They lost my hard drive. For 2 years,
Yeah.
I have been going to that shop. Oh man, see now I'm getting annoyed again. 2 years I've been going to that shop. These guys are telling me, we don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the shop. Hatujapoteza, iko pahali hapa. Sit down and look for it. They're telling me, a customer, to sit down and look for a hard
Yeah.
drive that they lost. And then so I've been following up with them for 2 years. And then I decided this week that, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this guy. So I went to the shop. I'm like, all right, you guys clearly don't care. You've lost my hard drive. How are you going to replace it? They look at me and they tell me, hard drive tutakupatia mpya. Usijali. Now, the nature of
Okay.
our work, right? You could, if we are quantifying because all that was on that laptop was just beats. It was my old FL
Yeah.
for like 3-4 years. I had been building up us. These guys look at me and say, don't worry, we'll just give you a new hard drive unaweza enda. So I'm looking at them like, wait, hold up. What are you talking about? What
know. Yeah.
what on earth do you mean I should just take a new hard drive and leave? What happened to my old hard drive? And then so I tell them that, okay, you know what? I'm not going to make you guys pay, because if I was going to make them pay for the hard drive, and I still, honestly, still might. If I was going to make them pay for the hard drive, you can't quantify the amount of, I could sell one song on there for like $100,000 if I'm in the right rooms, one
Yeah.
beat rather or something. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, cool. Just fix the laptop. For 2 years, it's been sitting in your shop. Just fix the laptop. I'll take it. Make sure it's working completely. I'll take it and I leave. Do you know what these guys tell me? They tell me, oh, to fix the laptop is going to be, then they give me an amount. So I'm looking at them like, all right, are you guys going to handle that or am I? And they're making me sound like such a Karen. I was looking at them, you can't make me pay for something now, then it turned into a whole fight. And then there's one employee in that office who's just rude. Like I've been in almost a yelling match with him twice. He's just rude. He came and he asked me if when I brought the laptop in a condescending tone, ilikuja na hard drive. I'm looking at him like, wait. Anyway, bro, let me tell you, this week I almost
I've been there, Sam.
Oh,
I've
man.
been there.
I'm
I
so
know
mad.
bro. I almost got into a verbal altercation with some dude. This is sometime last year, and I had saved up to buy like new headphones, and I had found this shop
Yeah.
that was selling Audio Technicas. Man, tell me why they sold me a fake. Like they were fake
man.
Audio Technicas, and then I was calling this guy. I was telling him, "Yo, the products you guys are selling are fake. This isn't the legit stuff."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, we got them from Dubai or whatever." And I'm like, "Bruh, I felt so conned, man." And I was like, "Bro, you can't gaslight me into believing these are real. These are fake, genuinely."
Yeah.
And then he started saying, "Oh, you're accusing me of selling fake or counterfeit goods."
Precisely.
That's hate speech. That's hate speech.
Wait, did he actually use those words?
What? Yeah.
Does he know what hate
was
speech is?
like, no, not hate speech. No. Yeah, he said that's hate speech. That's you're trying to defame me, and I'm like, what? I'm just telling you these are not real. Like, bruh, God, it was so annoying.
Man.
Anyway,
it's really. I don't. And you see, the problem is, people don't seem to care. Like for them, it's not part of like a business. Like if I told every single person who is paying you now what you did to me, do you think you'll still have any customers? Anyway, they just got me really mad. It was really annoying.
yeah, because even me, I was like, yo, I'm gonna like make a post and say, don't buy headphones from these guys. But anyway,
it's a continuous story. We'll see how it goes. I want to see what they'll do. I told them to talk amongst themselves and get back to
if
me.
You're listening to this right now, pray for Sam's hard drive.
Yeah. No, it's gone. That one is gone, bro. I'm never going to get that back.
Me personally, if people can hear my voice, I don't know if it's translating on the podcast, but like, yeah, I've been unwell. I lost my voice for like 3 days.
Yikes.
It's only just coming back. I just got like a nasty flu or cold or whatever it is, and now I just have a really, really annoying cough. It's so annoying. I'm so over it. So I've just been trying to recover.
Sorry, man.
This week. This week I've just been feeling really just out of it.
What's your go-to food when you're sick?
I don't think I have a go-to food when I'm sick, but I have a go-to food in general, which is chicken. I can never go wrong with chicken in any form. Any form, I will absolutely devour. But the best way to eat chicken is ugali and that's just my thing. Anyway,
New York.
You're gonna make me homesick. I've been okay aside from being not okay. And also this week the most notable thing I did was I went for a music networking event.
Yeah.
It was actually more of a panel. There was a panel. There's 4 people, 4 amazing, brilliant individuals who were speaking at the location was called, it was the Speakeasy at the Gin Mill in Manhattan. And yeah, man, like learned so much from them. The talks were about like just how to be an artist, or like the things like artists will encounter.
Yeah.
So it was just about music distribution, like what's that all about, like streaming. They talked about the whole streaming landscape. There's a lady who also talked about marketing, digital marketing, how you should go about it as an independent artist and all that stuff. Very insightful. And then there was a producer who just talked about the whole production process, what you should buy, what you should avoid, just DAWs and all that stuff. Not going into too much detail, but just kind of like, if you want to start recording music, this
Yeah.
is what you should get. Don't focus on buying like high-end equipment. Just buy what you can, and So it was really nice. Got to talk to a lot of like dope individuals, and yeah, that's kind of the most notable thing
That's
that
fire. That's fire.
I did, by the way. Sam.
Wait, before we get there.
Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
before we... Oh man, I'm going to die today. Before we get there, is there anything new? Because you're very experienced, right? You're like one of the most experienced person in terms of music producing and artist management. Like,
oh my god,
there's nothing
wow.
new. There's nothing no one can tell you. But did you learn anything? Did you learn anything like new?
First of all, I want to dispel whatever Sam just said. There's so many new things I am not privy
look at
to.
you now. Look.
Bro, I'm
now you're making me sound like a liar.
I'm a newbie and I'm a rookie in the game, like in the general sense.
Right.
I know some things, but I also realize I don't know so much. So there's one thing that they did mention that was very interesting, and it was about streaming and people's habits when it comes to streaming on Spotify. They focus primarily on Spotify because I guess it has the most market share. And the lady, she's the streaming coordinator for Secretly Distribution. Secretly Group are a company out here, and they work with a lot of independent artists. Her name was Dana, and she said that contrary to popular belief, playlists are not the biggest way people in the 18 to 24 demographic consume music. And I mean, I instinctively kind of knew this because even me, I don't rely on playlists to listen to music. So instinctively, I always just assumed maybe other people, that's how they consume the bulk of their music. But she was like, yeah, everybody really, really wants to capture that 18 to 24 demographic. And she's like, yo, they're not listening to music or discovering music on playlists, on editorial playlists, that is. And she was like, yo, a lot of artists like put a lot of pressure into getting into the editorial playlist and everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's not the end all be all of like your marketing like efforts. So that was one thing I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. And yeah.
What did she say? What is the alternative to the playlisting?
So for them, their whole thing was like, I think primarily you should focus on your marketing and your branding.
Yeah.
And all these things will kind of follow suit as like a reward for you like doing things in the right way. So if you're marketing your music appropriately, you're releasing it consistently, your marketing plan is not just contingent on getting playlist placements, but rather your marketing mix, like they like to call it in the industry over here.
Yeah.
Your marketing mix is mostly centered around. Also, there was a whole thing about center your marketing mix around short form content. So don't really rely on shooting a music video or stuff like that if you're an independent artist. If you're an indie artist, like focus on short form content, put most of your budget into that.
There's a TikTok, IG Reels,
TikTok, IG Reels,
YouTube
Shorts, that type of thing. And just kind of if you're doing all of that, your branding is on point, so you have high quality pictures on your social media, high quality visual content to accompany the music and everything. And then you're also doing digital ads, of course, and all that type of stuff. Then at that point, they're like, the reward for that will be, once you're doing all these things properly, then
it's all going to lock into place
and stuff will pick you up and everything like that. And Mia was like, okay, so I actually went up on the panel. Well, I went up to ask a question when it was the Q&A.
Rapping. Let's go.
I was just like, bro, okay, like I get what you guys are saying, but like realistically, like as much as we shouldn't just kind of speaking from an artist perspective, like they're saying that we shouldn't like prioritize the whole editorial playlist thing, but like it does matter a lot for an independent artist, because if you get placed on on an editorial playlist, your streams are more than likely going to go up, assuming the music is good, of course. But if the music has to be kind of good to even get onto the editorial playlist.
Yeah, and there's also some sort of validity that comes with getting on an editorial playlist.
But more than validity is it translates into income, revenue, because from streaming, the more streams you're able to generate. And they were like, yo, it's about $3,500 per 1 million streams, but that's with the caveat that that's just in America, because 1 million streams does not equivalent $3,500 in Kenya.
No.
And there's many conversations that has to happen about why that is.
Yeah.
But that's a question for another day. But anyway, in my opinion, I'm like, it is still important. And I was like, yeah, like, I feel like, how can the independent artist who's distributing their music on DistroKid and doesn't have any A&R in a room kind of pitching their music for them and stuff like that, how are they supposed to like compete with independent artists who are backed by independent labels and have people, vouching for them in that regard? And their answer was kind of just like, if you're working on the holistic thing and you're doing everything you're doing right, eventually something is going to pan out for you. So that was kind of the answer. Then I asked KD, her name was KD. She was the digital
Shout out to
marketer
KD, by the way.
Shout out to Katie on the beat, by the way. Oh man. And I asked her directly, what is the best digital marketing strategy you've seen in the music industry since you've been working? And she was like, she said the whole. Did you listen to Brat, the Charlie X thing? The whole thing?
No, I didn't hear the whole thing. I heard a couple of songs.
Yeah, she was like, that was really like, she's like, I hate to give this as an example, but just the whole Brat marketing strategy and everything was overwhelmingly successful and everything. So she said that was a really good marketing thing that happened. So I was like, okay. So I guess I'm going to go and study like the whole Brat summer, all this, because it really went very viral.
Yeah.
So I want to go and study that and see what it is they did, and you never know, could replicate those strategies and put them to work. So yeah, that was a really good thing. Afterwards, got to talk to a few of them. I couldn't talk to all of them, unfortunately, but I talked to 2 people who are on the panel and a few other people who are in the audience. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I mean, I definitely, like, I released a song. It's actually a week old, or it's more than a week old now, but then it's a song last week, and I've been doing like a whole bunch of research on like how to push it, and more people are using the whole short reels. Link your song to there's a whole thing where people are linking their songs to like something. We talked about nostalgia, like linking it to like movies and stuff like that, and then playing your song after and creating some sort of a connection. So I've just been exploring that, and how to generally just been exploring how to push music, because I'm not like a huge social media guy. And so I feel like I've really been slacking in that sense, but I do want to learn on the job, kind of like push. So I get the whole, like, playlisting is cool, but then a lot of people on
it's not the end.
A lot of people on TikTok and stuff, they're majority, they're just swiping up to songs and they want to click on it, and then making the song very, very accessible, like really easy, like a link or something like that. So not having to go through hoops and pre-save and all that business, but it helps. But then it's extra steps just makes the fun.
I think they also said, did they say this, or am I mixing this up with something I saw on TikTok? Because they were like, I don't know if, anyway, on pre-saves, they're just like, it's not really like, especially if you're an independent artist and you don't really have a big crowd. No, I didn't see this on this. They didn't say this in the panel. This is on another TikTok I watched.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just gonna say it. When it comes to pre-saves, don't put too much of an emphasis onto the whole pre-save campaign if you're not a big artist.
Yeah.
Like it's not the end of the world if your pre-save campaign isn't like massively
Successful, yeah.
successful. So yeah, but that wasn't said on the thing,
Yeah.
on the panel. That's just something else I picked up on TikTok. But yo, Sam, shout out to you for releasing music last week, by the way.
Oh man, should we get into it? Because oh bro, this is crazy, man. Hey, hey, hey! We stumbled into the best show that has ever been created.
It's definitely top 3.
It's top
3,
for
and
sure.
it's not 3.
Oh man. Do you want to intro the show? Because I think you're just going to start laughing.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. Okay, listen, we're making jokes here.
Gorilla Academy.
Sam put me on to Gorilla Academy. He was like, you should watch this. And I'm not going to lie, I slacked. But
bro almost missed out.
It's some of the greatest view. Listen, if there's anything you gain from today's podcast, I urge you, I implore you to go and check out episode 1 and 2, because episode 2 is out, of Gorilla Academy on YouTube. What is Gorilla Academy? Take it away, Sam.
Gorilla Academy is Kaka Empire's version of the Idols. It's Kaka Empire's version of making the band. It's Kaka Empire's version of what's that show that was on Netflix with Cardi B and Chance the Rapper and T.I.? Do you remember the name?
Oh,
the one that
Sir's
brother won. Dang, now I need to find it.
I can't. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but I can't remember what it was called.
Oh man, I have to find the name. It is called
Rhythm and Flow.
Yes. D-Smoke won it. D-Smoke is Sir's,
Rhythm and Flow.
Sir's brother. Sir is sent to TD. Anyway, yeah. So it's our version of that. Have you had anything like that in except from Tusker Project Fame, right?
Yeah, we've had a few.
Not specifically for rap
things like this.
Yeah.
I mean, Boomplay have done a few things, although they haven't been televised like that. But Boomplay have done a few like these type of like, oh, let's see who's the best.
Yeah, finding talent artist type thing. Yeah, but Gorilla Academy. The show is called Gorilla Academy. It's on Ikopale YouTube. Let me just give the show is basically they're focusing on rap music, like rappers. So
yes,
so
hip hop.
Yeah, there's unknown artists, underground artists, newer artists that come on the show, and then they rap to the judges, and then they're given scores, and then I guess at the end there's like a prize at the end. I think the prize is you get to do an EP.
Judges, Sam, who's on the panel?
I was getting there. I just wanted to, because this is a serious part. I just wanted to give the synopsis of the show. And so yeah, you're given a couple of was it 60 seconds, I think, to rap your best.
60 seconds,
rap your best, and then you're judged off that. And the contestants come, there's no preparation. They have definitely no preparation. They haven't had the beat before.
High pressure.
Yeah, it's a very high pressure environment, so you have to like really shine and show your skill. Now, the judges on the show, of course, it's Kaka Empire. So King Kaka is judge number one. Of course, King Kaka is a seasoned veteran. We call him a veteran, but he's a seasoned rapper in the Kenyan industry.
No, he is a veteran. Yeah, he is a veteran.
Very much respected by a lot of people. So he's done quite a bit. He's been around for a lot, actually. Like I went to look into his discography and just how long he's been after I saw him on the show. And I was like, dang. Bro has been around for a minute, but yeah. And then we have Mariah from the Mic Check podcast. She's also a guest on the show. And then our last guest is the man himself, who you must shout out, Vince on the beat. So he's a producer on the show, and he's the one who's making.
Sam, you forgot the most important, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
I did forget the by the way. Yeah, shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. So he's the producer. He's the one who's making the beats, and I guess doing the recording, and I'm guessing the engineering. From what I saw. So that's the whole show. So there's a couple of people are brought on. They rap, and then they're scored.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So listen, I want to start with like the great things about the show.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea. Definitely, it's an A&R kind of thing where it's like artists come,
Yeah.
we listen to what they have. High pressure situation, only have 60 seconds with a producer who, has produced for heavyweights
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
industry,
yeah.
like Calligraph
Yeah.
Jones and all of them. So you have a top tier beat and you have to perform, like this is you only got one shot. Do not miss a chance to blow. That's
Yep.
that's what's happening right now. So I think it's good. I think it's a good initiative. It'll open up for somebody in this cast,
Mm-hmm.
like will
Their career is going to be
will go on
kickstarted.
to do like something
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
So for that, I have to say it's a really good like initiative. And I mean, some of the people, like for me, like Michi the rapper, like that's a discovery. I didn't know about her before the show, but that's somebody who I would genuinely seek out and try and work with because I think they're really really dope. So yeah, I think on that regard, amazing concept, and shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way, and also
I
shout
think
out to King Kaka
we have to keep. Speaking of King Kaka,
and
actually,
Maria.
yeah. Speaking of King Kaka, the other reason I think this is a
Yeah.
pretty good thing is one thing a lot of younger artists need is sort of direction
Yes.
from like veterans, from older people. We've seen people talk about that a
Yeah.
lot. They're always asking the old heads like Bien and Sauti Soul and Yashinsky and all that. Like, when are we going to get some sort of guidance, and when are we going to get some? So this is
Yeah.
pretty cool. This is one way to do it. Of course, it's not completely direct, but it's one way to go about getting guidance, getting mentorship, if I could call
From
it
people
that.
in the industry.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of people on YouTube who are aspiring rappers who are seeing what the feedback the judges are giving, and then if they're wise enough, they're going to implement that into their own art, and it makes it better. So it's really good to see that, and then also getting like just that feedback from an actual producer on the set. So that's really cool. That part of it makes a lot of sense to me. And I was excited when I saw that. I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, we haven't seen one that's too focused on rap. That's solely focused on rap. Sorry. So yeah, man.
So now, Sam,
Then I clicked.
The things about this that made this
Then I
very
clicked on it.
entertaining. So unfortunately, I haven't got to watch episode 2 yet, but I watched the entirety of episode 1, and shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way.
We have to stop saying that's going to come off as hate.
No. No, but somebody has to do a counter. Somebody has to do a counter for how many times that tag played in the episode.
The people who are listening, like, watch episode 2 and then do a counter. Just
somebody needs to do a counter, because honestly, shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. Okay. I'll stop. I'm going to stop. So the beat. A couple of it's not a bad beat. A couple of the artists on there like kind of complained that it was a bit too slow and stuff like that, which I get. But my biggest thing about it was like the tag was there every single time, and especially in a place, because it kind of tripped the artist out, because like it comes in after like 4 bars or something like that, and now the artist thinks, should I come in now or there? So they were really being got out by where the tag was placed. I don't know.
It was a little confusing too, because so there's a few ways you can go about it, right? You can give the artist maybe rap 16 bars, give us 32 bars, and then we can stop. Or you could do the timing thing. But if you're doing the timing thing, they have to get the full time. Now, some of these rappers, they were starting, and then once the tag came in a couple of bars later.
Shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way.
Exactly.
I just said that so that I can show you how it's just.
You see, even you also threw me off. You also threw me off.
Exactly.
Like, so they start, then they realize, oh, damn, that's when the beat is starting. So they have to start again. So it's kind of confusing, and that takes away from the timing. So now they're starting to rap at 30 seconds instead of rapping at 60. So I guess that's part of the things that the show could do a little bit better. But so that's cool. The beat too, on that whole beat issue, I would have liked it. I understand why they might pick that, because it's a very easy beat. It's something that you probably heard before.
Yeah.
By easy, I mean it's familiar, right? The format is familiar. It's a little bit more boom bap sounding. It's not like modern. But a lot of the rappers who came on say that, man, I do drill, I do that stuff, and it's beats that Vince has produced, like more current sounding beats,
Yeah.
which it would have been cool to see them rap on more current beats, because I feel like most of them, like they all say, not all of them, but then a lot of say that they listen to drill, or cardinali, that new sound. So maybe the beat choice, and in the second one also, I know you didn't watch the second one, but the second one also, the beat is a little bit more Afro-ish sounding, but it's also like very simple, which I like. It's a simple beat is better for them, so that they can, the artist and the rappers can shine.
Yeah.
But it's not. I wouldn't say. I would like to hear a more modern beat on it. Maybe hopefully in episode 3 they'll switch that up, because I think it might really help with some of the
Yeah.
performances.
And then another thing, okay, this is just me, but for the next episode, please, could they have just 2 microphones, not the condenser mic, just 2 microphones, so that it's like way smoother? Because the whole passing the thing to the artist and then back to King Kaka and then back to it was a lot.
There's a bigger issue here. And now here's the thing. This is not criticism for criticism's sake. I mean, we're not just criticizing, because this is a really cool show and I'd like to see it work, right? But the production of this show has been a little bit of, it's a little, man, I don't want to use words that are going to get me killed. It's a bit amateur in how they've done it.
Okay.
Why did you say okay like that?
No, because it's not amateur. Like, okay, for me, mine is it's nitpicking.
No, but
it's not like amateur,
Yeah.
but like it's just a few things that like could have been a little bit smoother. Like offer us a little bit of a smoother.
When you say a few
like,
things, how many
viewing
things are a few things?
experience.
Okay, so one is, I think, the overall audio. Like, if it's an audio program, if it's an audio show, the audio has to be really good, right? And there were a few, like, again, with the whole passing of the mic, sometimes the judges were talking off mic and you can't really hear, and that's more of a production issue. You can't really hear what they're saying. You're just hearing like reverb bouncing off the rooms and you're trying to make out what they're saying. Sometimes the audio is distorted when the judges are talking into the mic. It's just small things like that affect the whole show. So when I was listening to it, I was just like, oh man, or rather when I was watching it, I was just like, oh, like this, it could be so much better. Maybe if they had just spent a little bit more time on planning the production of the show. Of course, we don't know. And listen, we're keyboard terrorists. We're just saying what we're YouTube detectives.
Yeah.
Like we don't really know what went into it, so we can't really call them out. But then, just as a consumer, those are some of the things I saw.
Please just get a second mic.
Yeah, and then the consistency of the rappers in terms of what they brought out, in terms of like the mixing. Those are things that also, because sometimes it was sounding inconsistent. The volume was a little bit high. Sometimes it was a little bit low.
Okay.
Yeah,
for me personally, I didn't care too much about that part.
It adds to the show though, or takes away from it.
But okay, it does.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. But for me, there were just certain. Oh my god. Okay.
Go ahead.
Emilio was a hard watch, man. Like, and then they made him redo his verses like after he did the 60-second. Some I felt like crying for the guy. But
it's easy to feel really bad for some of these guys also.
Oh, I felt really bad for Emilio, bro. I wanted him to win so much, but bro, he
No, he wasn't ready.
Listen, he choked.
He wasn't ready.
He choked,
it's part
man.
of it. It's part of it. Like, if you're on the big
His
stage, you have
palms
to
were
perform.
sweaty.
Nick Wheeze.
His knees weak.
What did I say?
His
Nick
knees were
Wheeze.
weak. Yeah, he said Nick Wheeze. So Emilio was something.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy? Oh, Totila.
Totila with the chinchilla.
Everybody seemed to like him. I just don't know, man. Totila didn't like sway me like that, but hey, maybe I don't see the vision.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know. My biggest critique also is like, I feel like when people I liked the authenticity that came from a lot of artists when they were like now comfortable, when they were doing stuff in Swa, in Sheng.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sometimes when we try and like do things like in English and try and flow like that, whatever, like sometimes it just doesn't come off as nice as
It doesn't come off
think
authentic.
It does.
because and one of the
Yeah.
reasons is when people are rapping English, they feel like they need to rap in an American accent, and that's such a weird thing.
Yeah,
Why?
which is my biggest critique about Calligraph Jones. But listen, that's for a different
Yeah.
podcast. That's for a different podcast episode. But like, I can't listen to Calligraph Jones for that specific reason. Anyway, you were saying?
No, yeah. So it's a thing that we need to fix, I guess, with rapping. Like when you're rapping,
I think you should just do what's most comfortable.
yes, there's so many rappers who are very, very dope when they get into the Swahili bag. And not to say that the only rap that we need in Kenya is Swahili. Like we can do English, we can do all kinds
No.
of rap. People are rapping in their mother tongues, and it's amazing.
But do what you're
Yeah,
your best at and you're most comfortable.
Stop trying
It's
to
like,
copy.
Like when I listen to Stacey Kamatu, even in Buy Me Love, and she's like singing in Kikuyu, bro, I'm like, this is fun.
Sounds cool.
Fantastic. This is phenomenal,
Yeah.
man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, bro, we just need to do whatever it is that we're most comfortable doing, and don't try to be more than anything more than that. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's cool to be ourselves.
It does, and it comes off as it always sounds like you're trying to rap. Like you're trying. You're not rapping, you're trying. You're putting on a costume for acceptance, and that's not. No.
Did you watch the first episodes that got not the first like videos that got Rema signed, and how he was rapping in that car? And bro, they was so cringy. My goodness.
Rema was a Christian rapper. He was trying to rap like Lecrae.
In fact, Sam, I don't know how Don Jazzy watched those and signed Rema off of them. But listen, Rema should just thank his lucky stars because, bro, those were not great. But you see, now Rema is so like, even from this recent album, he is like, he's doing his thing, and that sounds
like
phenomenal
him.
Because he's doing Rema,
Yeah.
you know. But before when he was coming up, he thought he had to sound like American rappers to be hard, and that's not the case. You do not have to do any of that shit. Be yourself, and that's all that. Like, once if you be yourself, like, that'll translate way better than anything else. That's kind of what we're just trying to say.
It is, man.
Like,
it is.
In a nutshell.
It is.
But also, cringe. Sam, I think you should also consider that. Shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way.
Didn't even. It just wanted to say that. Oh man, but yeah, maybe that's a critic for, like, okay, it's cool. Like we know your tag is on there, but it's. I don't even know what to say because that don't sound like I'm hating.
You have to shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I know this is annoying now. I'm so sorry.
You have to stop saying that.
One thing I liked about it, I'm sorry, this is toxic of me, but in between, like, after the rapper has
that's the thing I hated. That's the thing I hated the most about the show.
No, I loved it. I loved it so much. No, I love it. I love them singing the artist like in between. I love it.
Oh, I hate it so much. And then, you know, they tell them after to take it to YouTube. It's like, no, bro.
No, Sam.
No, that comes out so bad.
Sam, whoever was in the production room and they said, I need you guys to talk about the artists like after they're gone, they need a raise. I love it. I love it. And maybe I'm messy.
Kaka, Mariah, Vince, like, you guys are not even being subtle about it. They're doing all the Kenyan expressions. Where? I'm just like, fam, don't do that, bro. Like, they're going to watch this thing on YouTube. You're going to cry.
I love it. I love it.
Like,
but
that's crazy.
Genuinely,
that's crazy.
Genuinely, Michi the rapper is tough.
Oh no, yeah, she sounds.
She
fire.
is
and
so tough.
She's so
like,
unassuming too.
I was like, this is
like,
you would never. I would never. She was like, oh, I'm from Elgeyo Marakwet. I was like, okay, let's. Okay, I don't know what to expect, bro. And then she started. I was like, what?
She's a beast.
I was like, she is hard. And this is my own personal opinion. I'm off of Michi the rapper, who, by the way, I think needs to win the. If she doesn't win the whole thing,
is that? Are we getting a prediction from you? Okay.
Yes, that's my prediction. I think Michi the rapper deserves to win the whole thing. And I couldn't find her on Instagram, but I will be looking. And if she doesn't, I will be in her DMs to just tell her that she should have won. Anyway, people need to free themselves from the chains. People are held in captivity over people who rap quickly, bro. Listen, me, in my
But this
opinion,
is hate.
fast
Afam, you're
rapping.
just hating because you've not listened to.
I'm not
This is
hating. I
hate.
think fast rap. People need to free themselves
Double,
from
triple
being
time.
impressed by people who rap fast, bro. It was cool when Twister did it that one time. Now
That one time. He did it
bro,
more than once. See, this is why it's coming off as hate. You can't say that one time.
it is hate because I don't like I'm not saying the rappers who were rapping fast weren't good. I'm just saying for us to like see that and be like, oh, we're so impressed. Like, bro, you don't have to rap fast. It's I feel like I'm speaking to like independent artists who are coming up right now. You do not have to rap fast to be impressive. I'm telling you that right now.
It's a good skill to have in your arsenal. You just don't necessarily always have to do it. Because some people, and when people start double timing, triple timing, quadruple timing, a lot of the words they throw in there are filler words. It's a lot of theirs and the ands and the yeah. So it doesn't. It's if you slow it down and like actually read the lyrics, it doesn't. Anyway, so I do understand that. There are very few people who get to rapping quickly and they sound good at it. So I get that.
Anyway, Sam, listen. I think this is
bro. We need to have a recurring segment.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Listen, I think this is a good initiative. I can't wait to see.
Oh man, I'm hooked. I'm hooked, bro. I've watched episode 2. I'm waiting for episode 3. I'm hooked now.
I will be tuned in. And also, shout out to Vince on the beat.
Shout out to Vince on the. In case you guys didn't know, shout out to Vince on the beat.
In case you didn't know, by the way,
that's good branding for him, bro.
Sam.
No, it's good branding. Listen, the first what do you call it? The first video has 47K views for a show like this. I would say that's pretty decent. And
that's decent.
And Vince's tag is plastered everywhere, so that's brilliant branding on his part. If I'm being honest.
Now we've said it like 20 times. Shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way.
Look. But yeah, no, it's a cool show. I'm definitely I'm interested to see how it goes and how the progress, and then also like the final product of the artists they pick, because I would want to see some sort of artist development.
Yeah, they said they're gonna record an entire EP for that artist. Yeah, and that by that artist, it should be Michi the rapper. But anyway,
I don't just want to see an EP though, right? Like that for me is not enough. I want to see I want to see more behind it. I want to see some sort of artist like helping this artist. They're at A now. They're at point A. I want to see them move further in terms of career, not just throw them in the booth because they can write lyrics. That's like a very small part of being an artist these days. So it would be really cool to see that. I hope that there's plans. I didn't really get from what they were saying whether there's plans for that, but it would be really cool to see them do that.
But maybe it's just phase one. Maybe it's just phase Hopefully. One of helping them, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Hey, listen, shout out to, I'm not going to say it, shout out to all of them, by the way.
And shout out to all of them, by the way.
Okay, we need to go to new.
Let's talk about news.
Really, like in terms of other things, there was not much that happened.
The industry was asleep.
This was fun. Like honestly, thank you. Shout out to Sam,
by the way,
for putting me on.
Shout out to Sam on the pre-pro, by the way. All right, let's stop.
What were you listening to that came out this week?
Oh man, a couple of people dropped. I think I'll just highlight the albums first, and then we'll get to the singles. So, Nadia Mukami, who is some sort of a staple in the industry, dropped her project. It's called Queen of the East. She has released a couple of singles. I know Mali Safi was released a while back with Okelo Max and Prince Inda. I've heard that a lot. 13 songs on here. It is a brisk is not the right word. It's a brief 41 minutes and 6 seconds. It's Nadia Mukami style music. So if you're a fan, go check that out. Let me see who else released a project. Octopizzo. Now I'm going to butcher the name. I'm just going to butcher it. But Kich Kaliech.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yes. So he released a project also. 12 songs. Sorry. 12 songs. 12 songs at 5 minutes. The reason I'm indicating this because a lot of people get scared. I mean, talking about the runtime is a lot of people get scared when they hear album, and songs are getting much shorter these days. So it's really cool to see how the trend. The trend. Octopizzo is not an artist who I would have thought will release a a 35-minute album. Like in my mind, I think he'll do more. I liked his project though. Sorry, I'm rambling. I liked his project. There was a lot of vernacular on it, which I really enjoy. There's also it's very heavy samples, very heavily sampled project, and he sampled most African music. So I'm really here for that. I always enjoy a good African sample. That was that. Last week I went to the Mrumbi live show where he was performing his project, and he released the project. It's called Chasing the Shine. It features Jade Garish, Kui, Njiru, Boy Black, and Basic City, and Zalalai. So he's been consistent. He's been releasing almost every week. He's just been dropping a lot of music. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Shout out to him. Shout out to the project. Go check that out. Let me see. Is there another project that was released?
Yeah, there are two projects that came out. Water Feeling by Maya Molo.
Oh yeah. Yep, that dropped.
That dropped. Shout out to them. Primarily
now
produced by
whenever you
Cap
say shout out to
okay, fine.
you've
Shout out
ruined
to
that
Maya and
statement
Cap, by
for
the
me.
way.
Okay, yeah.
So I know also how we produced one of the tracks. So that came out. Also, big shout out to Sabiu, by the way. I need to stop, Sam. Stop me, please.
Telling me to
Please,
stop you. Stop
somebody
yourself.
Stop me.
Stop. You're not,
I can't.
we have
addicted
banned
to
the
saying
statement shout out. No,
to
we've banned it
whoever,
on the
by the
podcast.
way.
No more of that statement. No shout outs.
Sabiu released Boombox, which has 5 songs. Featuring Diana Chords, Dansky on 2 of the songs, Badiwa Nairobi and Kiss. Big shout out to Sabiu. Also, you should know he self-produced the whole project,
Yep.
which is dope. I really respect artists who also take an initiative to be interested in production. He sampled a lot on it. So yeah, man, shout out to Sabiu.
Yeah.
Sabiwooski.
And sorry,
what else?
Continuing on the project released, an EP by Nasibi, I think that's how you pronounce it, called Into the Nasiverse. Again, a 5-song project. We highlighted a song by, I don't know if you highlighted it, but then he had a song with Kinoti on there. It's a pretty decent project. Cool, chill vibes. Let me see. Who else?
I was gonna shout out myself, by the way.
Oh.
I was also in the releases. Spinks, Big Yasa, and the general Mad Clan collective released a self-titled album called Mad Clan. Shout out to Philip Koth, Philo, Wonder A&R, one of the best A&Rs doing it right now. Put that whole joint together.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to produce one of the songs. I produced the song Dripping, which is number 10 on the project, but I also recorded, mixed, and mastered 2 other songs, Dinero and
Fire.
What's Up. Yeah, let's go. I was just showing. I just need to show out my sound engineering
just a couple of
capabilities
you do a lot.
Somebody's looking for a sound.
You're not just a hit maker.
Needs me to. I also engineer stuff. So if you need engineering work,
hey bro, why are you promoting yourself? This is your platform, though.
I have to shout out to me, by the way.
Shout out yourself on your platform. We can't keep saying that.
So I also. I need to stop at some point. But yeah, I also had a release. What else came out? Smash the Computers by Papa. Did you listen to that?
Yeah, I listened to it. Papa he released a project recently. An album.
Very
and then he's just been releasing music. Before you continue, I wanted to highlight another project by a producer artist called Ya Listen. I think he recently just changed his artist name. And K-Prop and JT Bulinda. The project's called Masaya Kazi. It's Afro.
Wait, that's Sambugwa. That's Sambugwa, I believe.
Yes, should be. He goes by Ya Listen now. YAH Listen. So yeah, it's how many songs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. And called Masaya Kazi. It's very Amapiano EDM. Afro EDM, that Amapiano Afro EDM sound. So that's cool. I'm always ready to show love to producers who are taking the main stage as the artist. And K-Prop and him have been doing that for a while. So JT Bulinda is new to me. So, but my ears are propped up now. Yeah. What else?
There's more. There's Nisisi Tuliowachagua by Flyer. Love the artwork. I love what he's been doing.
Yeah.
So shout out to Flyer.
Yeah, and he's been on a little bit of a hiatus too. So it's good to see him back.
for him, because he releases pretty
Yes.
consistently. There was Wadagli's came out again with a new song, Twende Party. Let's see if this one will hit as much as Anguka Nayo. So shout out to them. At least, like, I like it when an artist has a hit and they follow it up with more music. You know, you can't just
You
sit
can't,
down and
you
be
can't
like,
hide
okay,
behind the
let's-
hit. You have to, you have to charge yourself forward.
Yeah, and in that song, they sampled Banjuka 2 by DNA. The last song I want to shout out before our song pick of this week was Athlete by King Kabi and Rachel Kendi.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out Harry for the video direction. Harry is so sick. I was watching that and I was like, yo, Harry is one of the really cool artists doing it right now in the scene. So yeah, shout out to Harry, shout out to King Kirby, bro. His verses were sick. I enjoyed that listen, and yeah, man, Kirby is still pushing, man. I respect it.
Respect it. I think for the podcast, we'll play a song by a guy called King Kanja. Now, I'll be completely honest. I had no idea who King Kanja is. There's just so many musicians in this world. But I clicked on
And
him.
then we went down the rabbit hole, Sam.
And now, fam, his has been around.
How did we not know about
Exactly.
King Kanja, bro?
Yeah.
Honestly, we
Living
must
under
have
a
been the only people in this world who didn't know him.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean,
like, honestly.
his Spotify, like, if you want to know about him, his Spotify bio is just super stacked, and all the names and all the shows are on there. But he released.
And his Instagram too, bro. You go on his Instagram,
He's hanging out with all the stars.
Absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone from Steve Harvey to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, it's not about the stars, though. It's about the music. He released a song called Uka, UKA.
Yeah,
It's Afro EDM. It's a vibe. So
Yeah.
we were rocking with it. I decided, let's play that for the people. Here is King Kanja with Oka. Yeah, that was King Kanja with Oka. That is the festival vibes. That is the Baobab. What did they call? Is that Baobab Festival? What's it called?
You always beneath the
Oh,
baobabs.
yes, beneath the. I'm so sorry. Beneath the Baobab Festival. It's that sound. It's that mood. It's that vibe. So, double joint, man.
Yeah, man. Oh my God. Yo, as always, thank you guys so much for being with us for 93 episodes. Man, soon we'll be in 100. Also, shout out to you guys, by the way. And also, I need to stop. Like,
this
shout
is
out to
going
you
to
guys
come
for
out. It's going to sound so
putting up
bad
with
when it
me
comes.
saying this. People, yeah, shout out to you guys for putting up with
Oh,
me
no.
saying this so many times. It's just so catchy and I can't stop saying it. It's just one of those things.
It's brilliant marketing, is what it is.
But yeah, always shout out to you guys. And I haven't said this in a while, but like we started this podcast because we wanted to highlight Kenyan music.
Facts.
Because we saw that 30% of music that's played on radio stations
Ukweli.
is Kenyan, and we want to see that number go significantly higher.
Someone this week asked me if that number has gone up and if we're going to change our podcast name. And it got me to thinking.
Do research to see if it's gone up, by the
Yeah,
way.
it got me to thinking. It's still the 30%. The 42% podcast. That's crazy.
Imagine.
That's crazy.
But yeah, yo, like I usually like to do at the end of the podcast, I just want to put you guys on to the 3 C's that I like to push. Confidence. You guys need to be confident in your work because that's what people will buy into. Always be consistent. You need to be releasing music at a consistent basis. I'm not saying you should release music every week, but there has to be a consistent layout to how you release your work. And lastly, craft. If you work on your music, if you work on your talent, if you work on your skill every single day and do something small, eventually you will be a pro at it. So always remember the 3 C's. Sam?
Yeah, man. One thing that's been on my brain recently has been momentum and just trying to figure out how to keep that going in the different things that I am currently doing. So I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. Sometimes you start things and then you get overwhelmed and you stop them. But stopping after you started is worse than you should have just not have started at all. Like once you start and you have a goal in mind, keep going until you hit your goal, because goals are going to evolve over time, right? And it's easy as we're moving forward, if things don't look exactly like we thought they would look, to just cower down and hide ourselves and just remain stagnant. But if you stagnate, you die. Movement is what keeps us growing. So it's just, sorry, this is more for me than anyone else, but
Yeah.
it's you have to keep moving. Like you can't stop, especially as an artist.
Yeah.
No,
thank you so much for those
it's only
words,
beneficial
bro.
if you keep moving forward. But that's episode 93.
Yes, sir. We'll catch you guys on episode 94, by the way.
All right, man. Oh, goodness.